Now, goal setting is a powerful process for thinking about your ideal future and for motivating yourself to turn your vision of the future into a reality. So how do we set goals? Well, first consider what you want to achieve and then simply commit to it. And I like to set SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals that motivate you, and make sure you write them down to make them feel more tangible. Then I want you to plan the steps that you need to take to realize your goal and cross off each one as you work through them. There's nothing more satisfying than ticking off those goals. And we will break this down a little bit further. So why should you set goals? Well, top level athletes, successful business people, and achievers in all fields of life all set goals. Setting goals gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. It focuses your acquisition of knowledge and helps you to organize your time and your resources so that you can make the most of your time. You don't waste time, you don't procrastinate, you don't sit idle for too long because you've got your goals reminding you of the next steps you need to take and to keep moving forward. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Property Management Podcast. Thank you for having me in your ears, and I am super excited about sharing this episode with you. It's very much ad-libbed. I don't have a script. I've got some slides in front of me as part of a end-of-year training workshop that I've done inside my PM Accelerate membership. So please bear with me. I will be jumping in between bits of content that I've prepared for this. But basically, I wanted to share with you just a bit of a strategy, I guess, to plan ahead for 2024. One thing I realized this year, that without a plan, everything can and does go to shit. My real estate business has been a bit of a shit show this year. I was not expecting to be back in running it this year, and I had no plan. I literally had a week's notice to be back on deck and running the business. And so there was no planning. It was just, everything's been very reactive, which has caused, probably a bit more stress than I would have liked. It's caused a bit of team turnover, and it's been less than ideal. Let's just say that. So that Property Mum and Done For You Socials business, that was very strategic what we've done in that. And they have been very successful this year because we've gone into it with a bit of a plan, and we've taken action steps towards completing that plan that we sort of had in place. So I realise between the different businesses now, it has highlighted to me the value of getting some planning in place. So just a few weeks ago, I attended a full-day business planning retreat with the amazing Claire Woods and Steph Taylor, two amazing online business coaches, entrepreneurs, and they shared their planning strategies and tips with a group of entrepreneurs and business owners. And I found it really, really valuable. And I took away so much. And I thought, I really want to share some of this. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So I really wanted to share some of the value that they shared with me and pass it on to you guys. So let's start with talking about setting up a plan for 2024. I want to go over a couple of things. I want to talk about how to set your major work and life goals. I want to talk about what action steps you need to take to achieve them or get the ball rolling. I want to talk about how to plan out some marketing goals and create a bit of an online content plan, and how to plan out your year, or why you need to plan out your year, and why a budget is important as well. So let's dive on in. Now, before we get started, I want to just take a little moment, and you guys can pause this episode, grab a pen and paper, and I want you just to think about what you have achieved this year. So before we go forward, it's really important, I think, to celebrate what we've achieved and the success we've had, and also to look on areas that we need improvement for next year. So I want you to reflect on what worked this year, what didn't work, what you will change, or maybe what you need to do differently next year. Now let's talk about setting some goals. If you are anything like me, you think you know your rent roll numbers. Well, I thought I did until I had a rent roll health check, and I was quite literally shocked. The money I was leaving on the table was astounding. And this is not something that I'm proud to admit. There were missed management fees, let fees, advertising, and lease renewal fees not being charged, and properties even without bonds. And all of this was happening despite monthly audits being conducted in my business. So how did I uncover all these gaps in my valuable income? Well, I had a rent roll due diligence from my good friend Tazi, aka the Rent Roll Queen and founder of the Tazi Way, a specialist in rent roll due diligence, business valuation and management rights. The Tazi Way is the innovative force driving the real estate industry. With 25 years of business and real estate acumen, they find gaps and risks in your agency to find undiscovered value. If you'd like to book your business in for a rent roll due diligence, head to the link in the show notes and mention That Property Mum for a 10% discount. Now, goal setting is a powerful process for thinking about your ideal future and for motivating yourself to turn your vision of the future into a reality. So how do we set goals? Well, first consider what you want to achieve and then simply commit to it. And I like to set SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals that motivate you, and make sure you write them down to make them feel more tangible. Then I want you to plan the steps that you need to take to realize your goal and cross off each one as you work through them. There's nothing more satisfying than ticking off those goals. And we will break this down a little bit further. So why should you set goals? Well, top-level athletes, successful business people, and achievers in all fields of life all set goals. Setting goals gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. It focuses your acquisition of knowledge and helps you to organize your time and your resources so that you can make the most of your time. You don't waste time, you don't procrastinate, you don't sit idle for too long because you've got your goals reminding you of the next steps you need to take and to keep moving forward. There's a few goal categories that I like to build my goals around. I will share a few of them with you now. Of course, add your own. You don't have to have goals in all of the categories that I'm about to mention, but it's really important, I think, that you integrate your work and your life goals because we are holistic, we are humans, we're not just business people, we're not just property managers or BDMs, we're not just working mums, we've got families, we've got partners, we've got other goals, we've got new houses, maybe we want to give back to our community in some way. So think about your goals very holistically. So some of the goal categories that I use is family and relationships. Health and fitness is always a big goal that I include. Business, of course, personal development. I've always got personal development goals, whether that's attending a conference, whether that's reading a certain number of books. I have charity and give back goals. I've always got travel and adventure goals as well. And this year I've got some house goals. I want to sell my house this year. And in order to do that, I've got a lot of work to do, fixing up and tidying up around my house. So there's a few categories, but like I said, feel free to add more. And it's really important when you are setting goals is to make the majority of them realistic goals. I do encourage you set some of those big, hairy, audacious goals as well, but your day-to-day or year-to-year goals need to be really realistic. Otherwise, you get disappointed if you don't achieve them. An example of one of my goals is one of my family goals is I like us to spend at least one night a week around the dinner table without devices, catching up and connecting and having conversation. More nights would be amazing, but I've got really sporty kids and they're hardly ever home. So, Sunday nights is usually our night. I cook a roast and we all get together and we sit around the dinner table and connect. Another family goal that I've set is from this year is that I implemented a work shutdown routine so that once I leave the office, I am fully present and at home with my partner and kids. So that's really important and it's worked really well for me. So I definitely encourage that as a goal if you are wanting to improve things in your family life and be more present at home. So some examples of business goals that you might set might be to generate more money so that you can afford another staff member. Maybe you want to just start posting 5 days a week on social media to give your brand more consistent exposure. Now let's talk about some marketing goals, because if you're a business owner, a BDM or a property manager, having marketing goals is really how you are going to drive the business or drive your personal brand. So they're critical goals to be setting outside your personal and professional goals. And again, when starting with setting the marketing goals, I want you to just do a little bit of self-reflection. I want you to think about and ask yourself these questions and maybe write them down in your journal. What's working well in your marketing for you right now? And then think about what's not working in your marketing right now. Maybe you've spent too much money and time on letterbox drops that aren't bringing in any new leads. Maybe your BNI has worked really well for you though. And what is the 20% that delivers the 80% in your business? What are you doing the least amount for, but it's bringing you the most success in your business? And again, that might be your referral relationships. That might be your Google reviews. What is it that is delivering the 80% of success in your business right now? And what have you been afraid to take action on? And this is a really big one. And this might be that you're afraid to put yourself out there on social media. You're afraid of judgment. You don't know what people are going to think about you. Maybe it is that you're afraid to do cold calls, or maybe you don't really value what you're offering to clients, and you need to work on your worth. And that might be a bit of personal development. Think about the things that maybe also are holding you back when you think about that question.
If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up, because Colmio is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmio is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmio is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmio isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative prop tech scale up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmio has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmio. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmio.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmio is KOLMEO.
Now let's dive into actually setting some of those 2024 marketing goals and objectives. And I want you to write down and think about what you want to achieve with your marketing. And again, I'll give you some examples. It might be, for me personally, it's to grow my social media. It is to grow my YouTube this year. I want to really focus on YouTube and growing my YouTube channel. It might be to generate a certain number of leads off your Facebook ads. I run a lot of workshops. I've got a marketing goal around, getting a certain number of people to my workshops. So think about what those goals are that you really want to achieve in your business. And this, mainly for me, my marketing goals are online. You might want to include some offline marketing goals, but I would encourage you to strongly think about your digital marketing goals. Maybe it's drive more traffic to your website, or maybe you want to get a certain number of downloads from a particular piece of content that you're sharing. It might be your lead magnet. And then once you've got those goals set, those marketing goals, I want you then to drill down and think about 3 to 5 things that need to happen for you to achieve each of those goals. So for example, if you want to grow your social media, maybe the 3 things that you need to do to grow your social media is set your profile up, for starters, on the relevant platforms. Maybe it's to get a scheduling tool and put a social media content plan in place. Then this again is going to be more for online marketing strategies. And I want you to think about now, or part 2 of this marketing goals and strategy, is to think about your online content strategy and topics that you could potentially share. And in order to really be successful in online marketing, you need to know who you're trying to attract and market to. So a good way to do this is to really think about who your ideal clients are going to be in 2024. Maybe that is your mum and dad investors. Is it your referral partners? Is it buyer's agents? Is it your local BNI? Where are those clients going to come from in 2024? And then I want you to drill down even further and think about the frustrations they're experiencing. So if it's just mum and dad investors, or maybe they're experiencing a lack of communication from their property manager, or maybe their property is sitting vacant too long. And you can even drill down a bit further and think about what beliefs do they have about those frustrations, that their property manager is costing them too much money. It's not worth having a property manager. Really getting inside and granular about your ideal clients will really help you with your marketing and your content creation. And once you've worked out what their problems are, the next step is for you to work out how to solve their problems. So for example, if maintenance is a problem for them, a frustration, do you have a software platform like Tappy that can help solve the problem? Is their property inspections they're not getting very good reports? Maybe you've invested in Inspection Express and the property reports are amazing and provide complete transparency over the property. So think about, what problems are you solving for your clients' frustrations? And once you understand that, you can put some content ideas in place. It might be 5 ways to avoid blowing out your budget with maintenance. It might be three questions to ask a potential new property manager, or 3 ways to easily change property managers, or how to increase your rental income by $100 a week. Whatever that is, once you've got the problems and the solutions, you can then quite easily come up with plenty of content ideas that you can brainstorm around that. If you want a bit more of a comprehensive plan around this, you can message me or contact me. I do have a training that I have shared inside my PM Accelerate membership. If you're a member, you get this training for free. And it's all about diving into creating content and planning it all out for 2024. It is a really hands-on interactive training. And with that, you also get some resources and workbooks and templates that you can use to help, especially if you're a visual learner, to help you on this planning pathway. There's been so much talk of stress, overwhelm, and burnout in property management lately. Do you want to know how I overcame all of that? Yes, I hit rock bottom multiple times, but I got myself a virtual assistant. Actually, not just 1, but 3. But I didn't just get any VA, I got a PMVA. What are they? Well, they are the most well-trained in the business. And not only that, you also have a backup VA, so that essentially your business is never without admin support ever again. And my health, time, and business has never looked back. Your PMVA can take care of tasks like rent arrears, lease preparation and renewals, maintenance follow-up, routine inspection bookings, data entry, audits, prospecting, inbox management, and so much more. And the best part of implementing a PMVA in my business was that it freed up my time and my team's time to take care of important things like customer service. What makes me feel so safe is that PMVA is owned by Tiffany Botel, both here and in the Philippines, making my data secure and giving me more control over the VA arrangement. So head to the link in the show notes to book in your discovery call with Lady Boss Tiff. Now let's move on to thinking about a yearly plan and putting a bit of a yearly plan in place. What does that look like? Well, it can be as simple as a Google document or an Excel spreadsheet, and it literally just has all of the school holidays planned out on there. It might have all your team holidays planned out on there, your personal holidays planned out on there. Maybe it might have certain times of the year where you want to run certain offers or promotions to your clients. You might have a particular marketing strategy or campaign that's going to come into place. It just gives you a whole snapshot and overview of what's happening for you personally throughout the year and what's happening in your business. And I highly recommend that you put this plan in place. I've been doing it for the last 2 years. I absolutely love looking at it. Obviously, for me, I plan out when I'm doing all my workshops, when I'm running a promotion to promote the PM Accelerate membership, or when I'm running a promotion to promote one of my digital courses. And that's all on this yearly plan. And it just gives you a really big picture plan, and then you can break it down into smaller steps, how to reach those smaller goals as well. Then the next thing that I've implemented as part of the planning process for 2024, thanks to Claire and Steph, was budgeting. And of course, many of you may have your Xero accounts or your MyOb accounts. You might have accountants who do a lot of that bookkeeping work for you as well. But I have been gifted a beautiful little budgeting tool, which is an Excel spreadsheet, and it allows you to play around with plugging in numbers. And I've used it for my That Property Mum business, my Done For You Socials business, and also for my real estate business. It just allows you to plug in and play around with, as I sit now, what is my income? What are my expenses? If I added more income, what does that look like for my profit? And budgeting is a really empowering way to look at your business and plan for your business into the future. So, but having the budget allows you to see where your money is going. You can put aside money for bills and expenses and set up a plan to reach your financial goals. So if one of your goals is financial, having a budgeting tool or template in place is amazing. Budgets allow you to record your income. You can record how much money is coming in and when. And if you don't have regular income, you can work out what an average amount is. You can also add up your expenses, so regular expenses. And your regular expenses are the essential items that you need to pay for in order to run your business. So that might be your wages, it might be subscriptions, it might be training and mentoring or coaching, those types of things. And you can also, with your budgeting, once you're clear around that, is set your spend limit, the money that you have left over after expenses. Can you draw a wage from that? Can you put some of that into spending into more personal development? Or can you finally get some savings put away and put into place? So I highly recommend, as part of your planning process, that you get some sort of budgeting, or at least have a clear picture of your income and your expenses, and what your income and expenses would look like if you add a little bit more income. If you increased your management fees by 0.5%, if you added a new fee on, what would that look like to your overall income for your business? And on the flip side, what would looking at cutting some of your expenses do for that as well? So just to recap on I know I've shared a lot of content in a very ad lib fashion for you. Like I said, I do have a training inside my PM Accelerate membership that breaks all of this down with some visual slides, and there's also the templates, the tools, the workbook that you can use as well. The key takeaways, I guess, from this episode is, we've talked about setting some major work and life goals. Go ahead, take some action, write them down, get your pen and paper out and work on those major goal categories, whether that's family, business, health and fitness, housing, giving back. Plan your goals out around them. And then what are the action steps that you need to take to be able to achieve them? Think about your marketing goals and creating a content plan around that. How to plan out your entire year so you've got a big picture overall view of what is happening in your business. Like I said, just do this on a Google Doc or an Excel spreadsheet. Put all your holidays, your team's holidays, all the school holidays in. It's really powerful tool. And then work on a bit of a budget. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just knowing income, expenses, and what potentially your business could look like with an extra 20 new managements in there, an extra 0.5% in fees. I totally encourage you to put some time aside and work on your business. Your business will thank you, your team will thank you, your health will thank you as you head into the new year fully prepared, focused, and full of motivation and inspiration. So that's it from me, signing off. Have an amazing holiday period, or whenever you are listening to this episode. Hope life and business is good. One thing I dread doing is chasing up rent arrears and debt collection. It takes up valuable time and it can often lead to conflict. But it is a necessary evil when you are running a property management business. But there is an easier way to make sure your tenants' rent is paid on time and in advance, and it's called RentPay. RentPay is a secure and simple to use payment platform that saves agents time and money with fast, accurate receipting while making life better for renters. To top it all off, you'll never have to worry about dishonor fees or unknown deposits again. How good is that? Cleared funds are deposited straight into your bank account in a single daily payment with accurate receipting and reference numbers auto-assigned, and it's fully compatible with all trust accounting systems. It's a super flexible payment option for tenants who can pay rent in multiple ways, including direct debit, credit card, or instantly pay with Payer ID. Fees are minimal, and RentPay even helps with the rent arrears process by automating reminders to renters when payments are due or missed. If you are currently paying large bank fees, struggling with constant dishonors because the funds aren't cleared when their funds land in your trust, or wasting time chasing up unknown payments, I encourage you to book in a free demo with RentPay and give yourself and your renters an easier way to pay rent. Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.